I'm bugging y'all. What's going on, everybody? How y'all doing this evening? It's your boy. It's your boy Raw One Man. I just wanted to thank each and every one of y'all for joining in each and every time that we jump out here every week, man. Every Tuesday, 8 p.m. We right here. We live on Twitch and we live on Facebook. No, we on YouTube. We was going live on Facebook, but something happened somewhere along the line. Facebook just was like, nah, they not really trying to fill the content that I have going on, I guess. So, you know what I'm saying? It's always been an issue with going live on Facebook. So no longer going live on Facebook, but we are live on YouTube and we are live on Twitch for the visual. And after tonight's podcast, you know that the audio will be available for each and every person out there, wherever you stream your podcast, Google, Amazon, Spotify, iTunes, wherever you get your podcasts at, we'll be right there too, waiting on y'all. You know what I'm saying? So, double salute to each and every one of y'all out there, man. I just want to say thank y'all again to all my drivers out there that's been listening to the podcast, been downloading the audio version of the podcast, keeping us moving. I definitely appreciate y'all, man. And without further ado, I'm going to get into what tonight's topic is about. And also, we're going to jump into them sponsors. But tonight, we just gonna have a conversation like we always do. That's what the name of the podcast is, Sparking Conversation. I got a couple of my boys with me. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna go through a couple of things. I got some videos. We're gonna do some reactions to some videos, right? But before we get into that, what we're gonna talk about tonight, we're gonna talk about polygamy. And we're going to talk about it from a concept or from a perspective of not what everybody else is out here talking about. It's been trending all week. So besides what's been going on in the news, the tragedy that's been going on in the news, with the police down in Memphis and everything that's been going on with that, um, it's very important that we try to keep dialogue about relationship going on because with a lot of the different facts and stuff that's coming out now based on what was going on, it is saying that it was a revenge thing, based on this that guy with his baby mother or the ex-girlfriend or something like that. So it was an act of revenge, which is really crazy, man, because we're falling into a society where people are looking at other people as possessions, and not as people and not what they bring to the table. We having this talk, a lot online. It's been this talk about high value this and what do people have to offer for this type of treatment to be had and all that, but it's corny. So the point that we're going to talk about from polygamy is because it's been trending all week. I personally have been doing a whole lot of research on it, and research from the spiritual aspect of it, like what is the origin of it, like what was the whole basics of the concept of it, not based on what everybody's personal opinion is. So I want to give that disclaimer before we even get started for anybody that may be triggered by things that's going to be said tonight, because a lot of people are emotional anyway. A lot of people are emotionally weak. And anytime something is said that they don't agree with, they automatically act out of emotion instead of kind of contemplating, trying to figure out the information for themselves and processing. One thing I want to make sure that anything that we say here today is not in the perspective of trying to convince anybody of any type of lifestyle that they should live, should not live, none of that other stuff. But because it's a trending topic, this is something that's being talked about a lot. And I mean like a whole lot. And the fact of the matter is, when I went and did the research about it, I come to find out that the real meaning of or the basics of what polygamy is or what that entails, because polygamy is the main umbrella. And then there's different sections of it under that, right? We're gonna get into that a little bit later. I'm gonna have somebody else break that down. We're gonna go through a video where a guy he's a life coach, expert in relationships and all that. He's gonna break that down so everybody could get it. Because I don't want to make sure that the information that we're gonna discuss tonight is something that people know that it was based on research. Now it's a lot more that you could go out there and do, to figure it out for your own. But this is what we're going to talk about today because the basic of it was basic on economics. It had nothing to do with the man and having multiple women to be able to have multiple sex or sex partners and all this other stuff. To be completely honest, it had nothing to do with the fact of sex. Of course, consenting adults are going to have sex. You know what I'm saying? But life is so much more than that. Like, outside of the fact that you're gonna have sex, what else is it? What are y'all building? What are y'all doing? So the whole concept of it, basically, it was spiritual, and on top of that, it was about economics. It was about the growth. It was about the maturity. It was about the way that people were able to live and be a village for sure when it came to the raising of children, and also when it came to assets. Asset minded. Everything that we have learned anyway from what it's supposed to be have came from things that we have been taught since slavery. Like before slavery, we've been stripped of all that ancestry. We've been stripped of all that information of who we were and how we were. How did we multiply so much? You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, so for the ones that was taken in slavery, how did they multiply so fast? Like, how did they multiply so fast that made the pharaohs scared that the fact that they was multiplying and they was coming up and they was getting money so they were scared. So we got to enslave them because I don't want them trying to take over and get power. So we all know the story. You know what I mean? We all know the story that the Bible, speaks of when it comes to the reasons why certain groups of people were enslaved and different things like that was the way that they growth. Like I know it was one period where it was just based on jealousy about the way that the community was able to grow so fast. It was able to grow so fast because this is how they practice their lifestyle. And that's how we're going to talk about it from that aspect. So anybody that's triggered, if leaving any kind of comments, I don't even care because it's not for a debate. Like I'm not doing this to have a debate, like or to go back and forth because we're not trying to convince anybody or anything. But it's a topic. It's been talked about, and so we're going to talk about sparking conversation. And so before I introduce my guest, y'all know what I got to do. I got to get into the sponsors, y'all. So shout out to Flicksters. Y'all already know how I give it up for Flicksters. Flicksters 24-hour streaming service for all my content creators, for anybody that's creating anything that they want to own that's visual. I don't care if it's a product. I don't care what it is. You know what I'm saying? Flicksters is the way to go. In the description of this video will be the link. I need all of y'all to go out there, click the link, get you your own streaming service. It is now available. We've been talking about it for a long time. People have been thinking about trying to get channels on Tubi and all these other places. Like, yo, have your own channel, have your content where it need to be. So in the event that you get too real and people want to shut you down and say you can, if you grow in your audience, you can still make shit shake. You don't got to worry about nobody banning you, taking you down, and all this other shit. You can still get the information out that you want to and make sure that people get to your content the way they need to get to. All right, so Flicksters, y'all know how we give it up for them. Jasper AI, artificial intelligence. Y'all know the deal, man. I'm telling y'all, man, technology is the way. Don't be behind the eight ball when it comes to technology. If you're a content creator, I don't care what it is. If you do music, whatever it is, you got to get with the times, y'all. I'm telling y'all, digital currency, number one, and you got to make sure that you get with that artificial intelligence because that's the way that these companies are marketed and maneuvering through systems while everybody is asleep. You just don't understand, like, how it is for a system to be running for you while you sleep, right? 24 hours a day. While you got this over here going on, while you being creative, while you get into everything else, you got something that's working for you in the background and it's moving for you. So I don't know what more that y'all want to know, man. I mean, it's time for us to step it up. And then when it's about getting a return on your investment, this is the best way to turn. So Jasper AI link will be in the description, all right? And for all of my contractors out there. So this is all to all my investors out there, right? Real estate investors, all my contractors out there that's making remodeling these homes, getting them ready for these people that's coming in. We already know that the market is a little slow right now because of inflation, but we done been here, done that 1,000 times. It's going to correct itself. People going to get out here and buy. So I got a new sponsor tonight, y'all, and it's ARR Cabinets, y'all. AARcabinets.com, yo. So this right here is not for everybody else. I just want to put a couple of cabinets in your home. This is really going out to all the investors and all of the contractors, for people who go in there and they remodel and they rebuild and they flip and they fix all these properties to get them ready for people and whatever their exit strategy is. All right. So this is for y'all. So ARR Cabinets is the way to go, man. .com, man. Y'all check them out. The link will be in the description of this video. All right, back. So what I'm about to do is, I can't forget. Y'all already know one of the main sponsors that's always in the building, y'all. And that's that collective wear, man. Y'all know how we get down. Of course, we got the males and we got the female line as well. And we got jackets. We got all kinds of stuff, man. You know what I mean? We know that it's about to be spring. So gear gonna be changing. So we got the t-shirts, all that other stuff coming. So y'all know what to do. Just get with us, man. Just get with us. Just get with us. Y'all know how to do it. If y'all need to get any of the merch, y'all just get with us on our link tree. All right, get with us on our link tree, and bam, you could get right there to us, man. And you can get a button up there that says merch. You could click on that. Yo, get right to it, man. So y'all know the drill, man. So what I'm getting ready to do is I'm about to bring my guest on, yo. This is my boys, yo. Part of the team, man. We do a whole lot together, man. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to this filming, and we keeping it going, and we staying focused too, yo. So I gotta bring my boys in real quick. So y'all know how it is. Ellie, what's good, y'all?
What's up? What's up? Glad to be here, man.
Yeah, you already know. You know how we do when we get together, man. We make it shake, yo.
For sure.
Word. And y'all already know the Big P, the comedy DJ in the building,
yes,
man.
Sir. Rap.
Yo,
Some rap. Let's go.
yo, we shut down Stansel's bar.
Yes,
No,
we
Stansel's
did.
Lounge in Middlesex,
yes, we
North
did,
Carolina,
bro.
Yo, I want y'all to know, man, if any of y'all in the North Carolina area, every fourth Saturday, we had a black-owned establishment. It's a restaurant, soul food restaurant. We out there. Listen, yo, it's normally a seafood broil, but yo, the joint sold out, yo. People couldn't. I think they were sold out by 3 p.m.
3 p.m. waiting in line for this comedy. Oh, and the seafood.
And the seafood.
Yeah, but it's so dope, man. So the people always come out and support, man. It's always a nice crowd out there, man. And yo, it's dope, man. But them people get up out of there after the show, though. They don't do none of that hanging around and shit, yo. They don't.
Them out. I'm always
so,
amazed at that shit, bro. It's like, cause I start spinning, right? I throw some classics on and shit, and be like 2 people left, yo. I'm like, what the hell is going? Like they ain't
they
trying to
saying
party or
bye.
nothing. Like they,
Yo,
like
it's too dark. It's too dark
yeah,
out
it
there.
is
Ain't no
dark. Ain't
street
no
lights,
light,
yo.
no
Yeah,
street
man.
lights, bro. We gotta come to
Yeah.
Raleigh. We gotta come somewhere else. Raleigh, Durham, be on the lookout. Chapel Hill,
Oh
be on
no,
the lookout.
we already putting it in motion, man. We'll be all over. You know what I'm saying? And we'll be taking I Got Five on it on the road. So
Yeah.
yo, y'all just be on the lookout, man. It's a platform, yo, and that's what we doing, man. We building a platform for comics, and you can come through and get busy, yo. But before we get started and jump into the topics, I want to talk. So lately, I've been drinking wine on the show. You know what I'm saying? That's what we've been doing. We've been sipping on this wine, right? I bet. So I went ahead and I went and jumped out there and I went and checked my boy out, my boy Snoop. All right, yo. So look, this is it's called 19 Crimes, yo, right? It's that Cali Red. This is Snoop's brand of wine, yo. If
Man,
anybody can
quit
see that.
playing, man. Quit
All right.
Oh, that's
playing.
real.
So Snoop got his own wine, and he got a rosé, and I got that too. But yo, this joint is banging, and it's 14.7%. So
Bro, you
if I
said Snoop. Yeah, go
Snoop,
ahead.
yo, Snoop got his own wine. All right, so boom, so I got that one, and he got a rosé, but it's 14.1%. So Aisha, if you watching the show, if you watching the playback, you played me last week on my little 9% that I had. Now I stepped it up. Snoop allowed me to step it up. I'm on 14% wine alcohol level right now with the wine. Yo, the Cali Red is banging. It's not too sweet and it ain't bitter. You know what I mean? It's like right in the middle. That shit banging, yo. And I'm gonna tell y'all something else that's fly, yo. They got a fucking app. So if you download the app, hold on, let me get the name of that joint because I want to make
Yeah.
sure that y'all get it. Because if you
Yeah, get the
download the
name,
app,
B.
you download the app. Hold on, let me get the name. All right, so it's called Living Wines. All right, if you download the app and scan the label, Snoop talk to you through your phone, yo.
Nah, man, I don't want to talk to Snoop, man. I don't
That,
want to talk to Snoop.
that's yo.
That's dope. Yeah.
He talk to you through the phone, like you scan the label. You understand what I'm saying? And the label talks to you, yo. It's
No, I don't
crazy.
want. Hey, no, that's too much, man. It's too much. I just want to drink some wine. I just
Come
want to
on,
drink some
B.
wine, man. Hey, look,
I'm
hey Snoop,
saying.
hey Snoop. I know you're watching too. Hey Snoop, listen, man. If you're watching, then quit, man. Quit. man. Come on,
Nah,
man.
come on. He stepped his game up on the wine game, man. And it's like mad reasonable, and the ABV is so high like that. Yo, come on, man. You gotta give it up to him. I think he teamed up with Martha Stewart too, because I think they got a couple that they have together. But it's that Cali Red 19 Crimes, y'all. Y'all jump out there,
Bro.
y'all get that. I'm telling
Bro, you're
y'all,
gonna scare
try
white
that
people,
shit.
bro. The label
Listen,
talking to
They
you,
love
gonna
Uncle
scare white
Snoop.
people.
no,
They
they
love
love
Snoop.
Snoop, yo. He
And they
worked
love
with Martha
wine.
Stewart, yo.
But
And
if the
when I went to get it, who you think told me about the app? I ain't even look. White
bro,
people.
most white people gonna be scared. You know what I'm
I
saying?
don't know,
If
B.
the label start talking to them and the app, come on, man.
Man, they love
Man,
that, man. It's technology, so
And just
they love it, yo. I'm telling you. Nah, you just get it and try it out. You don't be scared, yo. That's what it
I
is.
bet.
That's sound like you scared. That's what it is. Don't you be scared of
I ain't,
19 Crimes, yo.
I ain't scared of nothing. You know what I'm saying?
All
I'm from
right,
Brooklyn. I'm from
all
Flatbush.
right.
Flatbush. You know what I'm saying?
Be better
One
start do or die.
129th and 17th. You feel me?
What?
All
What?
right, go ahead.
Yeah.
hey,
I don't know what part of New York that
man.
is. It ain't Brooklyn, B. But look, y'all boys already know what we talking about tonight, yo. So I already gave a disclaimer early in the show, like based on what we're gonna be talking about. Now, listen, I wanted to talk about it from a different perspective tonight. That's why I just had the fellas on here, because you know how it is when it comes to the whole process of the conversation of polygamy. You know, they automatically think the worst. They go right to sex. They go right to the man this and the man that, da 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 da. Oh, it's the man. He getting all this extra stuff and boom, boom, boom. But when I went and did the research about it, it wasn't even about the man. What it was about every woman having a husband or a man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? That's what it was really about. It had nothing to
Mm-hmm.
do with a whole bunch of men or men having a whole bunch of women. It was to make sure that the women had a husband and they had somebody there that was a protector, that was help with the providing, because they was also talking about this too, like the concept of where the man took care of everything and all that other stuff was only a Western idea based on what they wanted to create it after they created this world over here in the United States. That wasn't the way that it went. Everybody had a responsibility for what they brought into the household. Now, the man might have went out and hunted and gathered, but the women made sure they prepared it. They made sure they they cleaned it. They made sure they did. So it was a concept of everybody working together. It wasn't just a provider thing. The man wasn't going out there just doing it and coming back cooking. It was a team effort. So whatever the needs of the family was, they all did it together, and they made sure that the women wasn't out here unprotected. Now, I got a whole bunch of stats I could run to y'all, but y'all already know the websites to go out there and check the national averages to the people that's listening. We know that domestic violence has risen at least 24% in the last 2.5 years, right? Domestic violence. So they saying every 8 minutes, 8 to 12 minutes, there's a woman checking into a hospital for domestic violence abuse, right? So that's going on right now. That's a national average. That's a national average. That means in certain places it's higher, in certain places it's lower, but it's a national average when they break the numbers down. Even though a lot of them, about 45%, are not a little higher, I think it is, things like 48 or 49% of it is same sex, lesbian couples. You know what I'm saying? They're making up for the majority of what's going on when it comes to domestic violence right now, but that's not the point. The point is, though, the reason why polygamy was even in a thing back in the day, or not even to the point of being back in the day from the start of creation, was because of that. There's never been a civilization where men and women were equal in numbers. Women have always outnumbered men.
Right. That's a
Even
good thing. That's a
even
good thing.
since the beginning. Yo, where you at, Paul? Like, we can't see you, fam. You blacked out, yo. What's going on, man?
Now he going all the way.
I don't know where he at, yo. He wilding, yo. But Yeah. So what you think about that, L? Because before when he while he getting it together, you know what I'm saying? We going because I got some videos. We going, you know what I'm saying? We gonna run through. But
There you go. Yeah, I mean, I just want to just chime in a little bit. I think that the main thing is making this a mature conversation. You know, when you instantly jump to, oh, guys just want this, guys just want that, you know, you're looking at it with the wrong lens. You got to understand what a person is gaining from it, what people gain from it, whether it is stability or security. You know, this, you know, financial security, that's what a lot of relationships end over. If it's me and you, that's 2 paychecks. If you add a third person, that's 3 paychecks. So at any point in time, if somebody fall off, you have another person right there to pick up the slack. Um, you know, you hear people complaining about their kids not having anybody to watch the kids or having too much responsibility on them. You know, people living, you know, trying to live above their means and struggling. You know, when you start looking at it from a financial standpoint, it's a different conversation because what's the point of accumulating all this money and being by yourself? Because there are a lot of successful women out there who are single and by themselves, you
that's a
know,
fact.
and
That's
that's
a
a
fact.
so I mean I just think that it's, you know, and it's always an attack on the women as well. And I think that people need to scale back and really think about, you know, what a person's motivation would be. It doesn't make them weak. It doesn't make them you know,
Being
submissive.
controlled or
Yeah.
yeah.
It doesn't invalidate them as a woman, them as a successful person. It doesn't make this, you know, put this man on a pedestal. You know, if I have the means to provide for more than one woman, my, you know, more than one wife, you know, to do it the correct way, I don't think that that should be the someone else's opinion doesn't
I
matter.
don't,
I feel like that.
I
Not at
don't
all.
know, bro. I don't know, bro.
Go ahead.
That
Go ahead.
you know,
Always a hater.
black
Yeah.
women don't want to share. First of all, you know what I'm saying? They don't want to share they chicken. You know, they damn sure don't want to share no man. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, and most of them who are by themselves now are by themselves because they found out they were sharing a man, and it was like, fuck it, I'm gonna do this shit on my own. You know what I'm saying? And so there's a lot of people that's been scorned. You know what I'm saying? And don't want to jump back into it. Don't let alone entertain the fact that you want to have 2 of us in here. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
I mean, I get where you're coming from. I
Yeah.
mean, that's the thought process of a person that's looking at it from that lens, you know, like you said, you know, a person may look at it like sharing, but who's sharing? Like it would seem like if it's one person or like, all right, so if the man is the head of the household in the sense of what that means, you know what I mean? He's gonna have to split his time between everybody in the house, not even just the women, but the children too. So he's gonna have
Mhm.
to share more because it's only one of him. So it's just the perception of what people looking at when they thinking about sharing. They're thinking about, oh, they're sharing this person when they not. That person is having to share everything that he has resource wise with everybody to maintain it, to make sure that everything stay afloat and everything roll like the way that it need to be. So it's just on a perception. That's what I think. I think it's just the way that people look at it when it comes to the word share. I think when we was talking about earlier, what I was speaking about earlier was possession. People look at people as a possession, as ownership, as this is a my. And I think that's what happened, you know, with Tyree. Now that with all of the reports coming out, you know, this police officer, you know, felt like this woman that he was no longer with just because he had a kid with her belonged to him. And now a young man
Mhm.
lost his life because of that mentality of what we keep talking about. Something is my. You know what I'm saying? At the
Mhm.
particular point in time because of the way that people are viewing things. You know what I mean? So it's crazy to me. You know what I'm saying? In
Right.
that aspect, you know what I mean? Like when people start talking about the word share, it's like, are we really looking at it from that right lens? Like, who's sharing? Like it's only one
Mhm.
of him. You know what I mean? So who's sharing? Or who's sharing the most? But like I
Well,
said,
okay. Go ahead.
go ahead, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Well, no. Okay. So when it comes to time, okay. So we talked about the physical thing, right? It's like, okay, it's not all about that. But even still, let's take a birthday or a special occasion. let's say it's Valentine's Day. We both going out. Who
Yeah,
going out first? You know what I'm saying? Like who? You know what I'm saying? Who go first? Who go on the 14th? You know what I'm saying? How we flip flop years. You know what I'm saying? I almost
now you
even
do it all.
equate.
You do it all together. You don't separate,
You don't
because
separate.
if you separate, then that puts you in a position of um, allowing things to come in between, like jealousy or who get this, that, and the third. Like,
No.
first of all, them holidays and shit don't really matter. Like, let's kind of put that in a perspective of,
To
any of
who?
those things. It don't.
Wait
I
a
mean,
minute. To
period.
who?
Like, I mean,
Oh
period.
Lord.
Like, we could say now, we
I
could say
feel.
to
Hey.
certain people. We could say, like you're saying, to certain people, like this holiday is important, but it depends. Like I said, it just depends on what that man. Like, it depends on that man. Like, what is the motivation behind this man and his leadership? If this man is on a certain level and he's trying to get to the next level, or he's on that mind path, these holidays, it's nothing that a woman can say about a holiday that's gonna matter. Like, is she gonna be on the same page? Now, if it's her birthday and different things like that, that's more personal. I can get it. But anything outside of that, no. She get upset about anything like that. That's not the woman for a man with vision. Like, not a man with vision. Like, if you a man with vision, a woman that's concerned about holidays ain't for you. I mean, let's just be
Okay.
honest.
Yeah, that's listen. That's real as hell, right? That is real, real hardcore, right? And I'm with that. But we, the society we have created. You know what I'm saying? Like we have made these things important, and the more we fed into them, the bigger beast they become. You know what I'm saying? Look at
Yeah.
Valentine's Day, all this other mess. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, okay, so fast forward, right? So even past that, like when sharing time, sharing affection, if we watching Netflix and we watching Walking Dead, and one of them don't like Walking Dead, so now she got to be by herself while we chill it's just a lot. When you say sharing, you know what I'm saying? It's I just think of so much that can go wrong with it, man. I mean, if you're not focused, if everybody in there not focused on what the goal of this thing is, like you said, because we ain't thinking Old Testament. You know what I'm saying? We ain't thinking back in the day. We ain't thinking along them lines of security and family security and you know what I'm saying? Like
Legacy.
we legacy, we ain't thinking about some of that stuff now. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're trying to date now. I'm 47. You trying to date 45, 47. Everybody got history. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got places they've been, people they done been with. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody thinking about that stuff. You know what I'm saying?
But
People are
should
thinking
they though?
about, but
Should
no,
they?
it's
Right. Why is
true,
that not a
true.
conversation?
Why
True.
why
It
why why are people
becomes
not
let
though?
me let me
Big
say this.
P.
It becomes a conversation, but I'm talking about at first people thinking about that material thing. What can this person do for me, right? Whether it's sexually, whether it's money, whether it's good looks, position in life, status, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like if you like somebody that's real social and like to go out, you're gonna be attracted to that person. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna have no legacy conversations till y'all start getting serious down the road. You know what I'm saying? And even still, it's hard. You hard pressed to find people that's gonna be focused on that for real.
Well,
I mean,
not. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go
yeah,
ahead.
I mean, my thing is, I think that a lot of times people look at it as two independent relationships that you're managing simultaneously, and it's not like that. It's everyone has a relationship, so it's not just, oh, you got time with her, I'm jealous. It's understanding that there's only one of me. There's only so much time in a day, and everyone has their their things that they want. It's a conversation. I know women in their mid 40s, late 40s, early 50s, who are out here still dating other people's husbands. So you can't tell me that they don't want, oh, well, they're not impressed by this and by that. But the first thing that they'll tell you is, oh, well, he buys me nice things, or he does this, or he does that. I mean, a person's desire for attention doesn't change, but what you have to do is kind of focus your mind. My thing is this: if I go out right now, late 30s, I meet somebody early 20s, we on two different wavelengths, because I'm thinking legacy, I'm thinking of growing, I'm thinking of securing something for not just my children, my grandchildren. And they thinking about the latest TV show, the latest fashion, and how they can get to Dominican Republic. You know what I'm saying? So it's a mindset thing. And I think that's where a lot of people, if you don't have a strong leader, if you're not being led in a direction, then you fall into the traps of society, because then society tells you how to think. Society tells you what day is important. Society tells you what a relationship should look like. Society tells you everything, but then it also puts out such a negative connotation on anything that may actually be good for you, you know, because we sit up here and it's crazy. It's crazy. I remember Michelle and Barack, like that relationship, we saw it for 8 years, front page of everything. And people like, man, women, I want a Barack. Man, I want a Michelle, but now the relationship that's on TV the most is Blueface and Christian Rock. And it's a dysfunctional relationship. And it's a relationship that formed off of a TV show where he had multiple women in a house competing for him. That's why there was so much violence and it was such an immature mindset, but if you look at other TV shows like Sister Wives, and there's multiple shows about polygamy, and it shows how it can be done efficiently and how it works for everybody that's a part of it. No relationship is perfect. And, the same problem that you were discussing are problems that people have in monogamous relationships. And it's always communication. Communication rules the nation. I'll let y'all go.
Well, and to piggyback off of that too, I was going to say, like, at some point in time with men, like, we got to stop as men. We got to you can't just keep walking around getting the benefit of the doubt. You're going to have to get your mind in a space where you enterprising. Now, I'm not saying this in a way to say like men should go out here and be polygamous. I'm not saying that. I'm saying like the thought process of the average man, when he get past 25, like when he get right into his early 30s, you gotta automatically start putting your mindset in that space to go to the next level. You know what I mean? You already know what type of women you attract to, and you know what type of women that you're willing to settle for. A lot of guys be out here ready to hump one of these chicks that's strippers and all that other stuff, but they won't wife them, right? Because that's the process. And then on top of that, how many times, like with like people, like El was saying, like you maybe describing like a process of a guy who's trying to juggle two separate relationships, and he trying to juggle that in between instead of everybody working together, because even the women, they're friends, they're married to him, not to each other. So it's not a promoting of a lesbian couple or a three-way or everybody having threesomes and all that other stuff. Now, this is just based on the studying that I did about it. You know what I mean? This is what they were saying. Like, this is the basics of it. The women have a friendship. They go do things together. They hang out. Most women have a best friend. How many times have we saw, and there's so many movies about it, where the best friend and the friend but wind up sleeping with the same dude or the husband or the boyfriend of the dude? Why? Because they on the same wavelength for the same guy. Like, you're not best friends just because you got a couple of things in common. You know what I mean? Like, if you got those things in common that you on that frequency, then the man that comes in is going to be on the same frequency. But it happens all the time. It's like a never-ending story because people are not honest with themselves. You know what I mean? And to a point where they'll at least go investigate. All right, and at least learn about it. These mothers ain't even gonna learn about it. They automatically go into the, oh man, nah, man, because this, that, and the third. It's like, well, damn, hold on, son. Like, it was a whole bunch of societies that were successful. Like, what are we doing right now? We are not successful as a society. We don't own shit. I mean, if we kind of put that into perspective, man, because we lost our way. So I got these videos. So I want us to do some reactions to these videos. You know what I mean? Because I wanted it to be where people didn't just think that, we were going to be up here just talking from our personal perspective. We wanted to say, like, yo, these are people out here who teach this, or these are people out here who feel a certain way about this. So, we can give people that opportunity to react.
Bet.
All right. So, okay, so I have a lady. Before we go into that, we got a lady that made a comment, and she said, consider the structure flip. Maybe the woman is the provider and she wants to have two or more husbands. And I'm saying, like, if that's also a part of history too. It's called polyamory. right?
Polyandry.
Polyandry,
Polyandry.
polyandry.
Yeah,
I gotta
polyandry.
we gonna break it down. It's a person that breaks down all of it. It's polyandry, polyandry, or something like that. However you pronounce it. And I mean, if there's a scenario that's set up for that and people all agree, then there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? Like we're not saying that it only happens one way. It's the people that agree. It shouldn't be forced on a person. It shouldn't be made to seem like this the only way this will work. It should be a grown-up conversation. People look at all the pros and cons and at least be willing to have being adults about it. And if a woman is a provider financially, that's one aspect, but she not the protector. You understand what I'm saying? If somebody break into that house, her money ain't gonna stop that burglar. That man gonna have to be the first one to get up and make sure he hold everything down. So being being a person that provides is one thing, but everybody should be providing. Remember, back in the day, the man wasn't the breadwinner. They had assets. They created assets that helped the lifestyle. It wasn't a man walking around paying for everything. That's corny. That's been since slavery. That was a slave mentality. That's the Western mentality. That's not how it's always been. People created assets that built their lifestyle. Nobody was sitting up here being the so-called financial provider. That wasn't the role of men and women. I mean, if you kind of think about that, when the men, even if you said the men was out there hunting and gathering, when they was hunting and gathering, they was getting enough for the whole village. They wasn't just getting, it was a thing. Everybody came and they contributed, even if you go back that far. But they created assets that helped them live. Not one person came in saying, I'm giving all this, so this is me. That's not how that works. So even if a woman is a provider and she wants that lifestyle, is a name for that lifestyle, and if they can get the guys to agree, then that's it. And then whenever she gets pregnant, they'll wait till she had a baby and do a DNA test to find out who. I mean, that would be something that they would have to go through. I mean, it's the truth. If she's sleeping with both men and she get pregnant, whose is it?
True. I want to add just a little bit to it. I think that the concept is another concept that's not too far fetched, because on an immature scale, you know, there's a lot of side dudes out there, a lot of side dudes out there who are in a whole committed relationship with somebody else's girl, and they even make songs about it. You know what I'm saying? What's the dream song? I love yo girl. Like it's a mentality. I sit here and watch dudes every day go holler at a chick, and she's like, "I got a man," and he first thing he say, "So you can't have two, you can't have another, you can't have a friend." So that's the thing. Now, when these two men in a situation like that, when they meet up, since the communication is all messed up and you're doing something behind somebody's back, it becomes a physical altercation or a problem. But if that lady was to sit down and tell any man, "Hey, listen, this is what I'm looking to do. Either you're on board or you're not," then that's their choice. I don't think it's a far-fetched situation, and it doesn't offend me if that was the case. And that's the thing. So I would hope that it wouldn't offend a woman if that was the case, a man and two women. So a woman with two men shouldn't offend a man if that's not what he's interested in.
That's a fact.
It's not far-fetched if the people, like what you said, if the people agree. I just think in what we're dealing with today, you know what I'm saying, and people that's you know, all these educated folk and all these watching YouTubes and watching this, you know, it's just like you say, these high value dumbass folk, you know what I'm saying? Like all that talk, you know what I'm saying? It's like people so focused on that or finding one person. It's so hard. It's so fucking hard to find the one person. You know what I'm saying? Like the crazy shit about that now you're talking about finding two people that's gonna agree. You know what I'm saying? Like that's where I'm coming from. That's why it seemed kind of, I won't even say far-fetched. That's why it seemed kind of out of the question, because it's so hard to find the first one, to make sure the first one on your vision or on the path with you, and make sure, and then you got a solid one, and then you're going to go in there to the solid one and say, look, we you know what I'm saying? Like,
you can't even have that conversation.
You gotta think about this though, P. You saying it. You saying it exactly the way that it happens because of the fact of, let's be completely honest out here, man. You know what I mean? There's way more good women out here than they are good men. every man don't deserve the opportunity to be in a position where he have multiple people in a scenario that's all
True.
willing to work together.
True.
You got to remember, this is only a certain type of male that can do this. This is not a every man thing. You know what I mean? Like, and not only that, like the man that's in it got to have enough education within
Right.
himself to not make it about sex. Of course, people have sex. Let's like not be that, but in the connection or the thought process of what you're trying to build, that can be it. Because let's be honest, a lot of dudes be lying anyway when they talk about how good girls' vaginas be. We listen. A lot of times dudes be with a woman and they locked in with a woman. It's not because of her vagina, yo. Like people gotta stop making it about sex. I think because they have the perception that men are sleep with anything, and men make it a game or a sport to sleep with a lot of women. That's based on the fact of how much they're controlled by the vagina. Now, there are a lot of men that are controlled with the thought process of conquering that which they're hunting. So yeah, you got a lot of men out there that make it a sport just to sleep with a bunch of women. So I'm not talking about them, but I'm talking about in the fact of where men will be honest enough to understand and stop lying to these women. Like, yo, stop lying. Stop making it seem like, yo, you with shorty because her sex so good. You know what I mean? Like, stop lying. And if dudes can stop trying to be ego tripping or stop trying to be in a space and understand that, be honest with the women because women love from here, men love from up here. Like men love right up in here. So we not gonna sit up here in front and act like men is all that. Men love up here. So it's about the way that he think, the way he process it. That's what I'm talking about. Think about that. Men are up in here. That's why men can't take when women cheat because men do all the visualizing up here of what she doing. He not thinking about the fact of, oh man, she did that XYZ. No, she up here, he up here thinking this. And women want to know why. I don't think they sit up here thinking if if you lick the box or if you hit her from the back, they just want to know why did you do it. Most of the time, you understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So men are it's an opposite in that aspect, man. You know what I mean? And if men will be honest enough to tell and stop letting people really feel that way, stop lying. Because women do the same thing. Women, they don't listen. A lot of women are not so totally sexually satisfied with the man that they with. Come on, let's be complete. Let's be completely honest.
That's what the side dudes be coming in. You know what I'm saying?
Because they don't have communication. Think about this.
Right.
Things are bad because people won't communicate on how to fix it and make it better. Like people don't take the necessarily steps to fix it and make it better. So in a polygamous relationship, I mean, it doesn't make the sex better. Now, people come in and bring threesomes and all that other shit. That's different.
It's different.
That's sex. They ain't got nothing to do with family building. They ain't got nothing to do with legacy. They ain't got nothing to do with, you know what I'm saying? Making sure them kids got somebody always there. If one person is doing this and that one doing that, they got somebody always there, and vice versa. And every man in any capacity right now, everybody should be trying to create some type of passive income. If you're a man that's in any trying to trajectory to be a leader of anybody's household, you should be trying to figure out how to get some type of passive income. It's no excuse for you. It's no excuse for you.
You should have 3-4 streams of income.
Come on, man. It's no excuse for you,
yo. We can speak on that and have a whole podcast about that. You know what I'm saying?
You get what I'm saying? There's so much to talk about because, like, let's put it to be as honest as possible.
You know what I'm saying? I love when my cash app ring. You know what I'm saying? I be like,
come on, man. Listen, yo, having one job or one source of income is as close to having none. So we're not playing those games out here. All right, but look, so this is what we're gonna do. I got a couple of videos. I want us to do some reactions to them. All right. So the first one is I'm gonna play. This is a life coach, right? A relationship coach. He goes around the nation and all that, and he talks to people about different types of relationships and based on the spiritual aspect or whatever. Now, with this brother, he is Muslim, but I didn't want to bring a whole bunch of videos about with people that are Muslim because already in the Muslim faith, people are allowed to have multiple wives and all that. So it seemed like it's more automatic for somebody that's in the Islamic faith. But once people break down the scriptures in the Bible and all that other stuff, it's all in there as much as it's in there too, everywhere, like all over the place. So, but churches don't preach from the Old Testament these days. They only preach from the New. Why? Because, well, we'll get into that. That's a whole nother
That's
story.
a whole nother story.
That's a whole nother story, yo. But that's worth a conversation, and we'll get into that. You know what I mean? But right now, so what he's going to do, he's going to break down the different types of relationships under the polygamy umbrella. So let's check this out. He got a couple of other things he's going to say that we'll react to, but I wanted to get y'all brothers' take on, how he break this down.
Bet. Roll the tape.
Versus having a job. And it wasn't a slight at the brother, just to reinforce the
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Hold on.
relationships.
Hold on. We're going to get to it.
I wanted to just share something with you. It's kind of an unpopular opinion, but I was recently one of the panelists on the Tammy Mack Late Show. It streamed online on Fox Soul, but it also aired.
Hold on. I want to get to the part where he was.
Age.
Hold on.
Should be relatively easy. Now, let me back it up though a little bit, because I want to talk about this topic of polygyny, just the basics. Because on the show, the idea was that with polygyny, you just have a plethora of women and are just being intimate with all these different women and stuff like that, as though that's not already happening. That's not polygyny. Okay, so definitions and words, of course, are important. So if you don't know what polygyny is, or you say polygamy, which of course is the umbrella term, let me break it down for you. Polygamy, in general, means a person who has more than one spouse. So either a husband who has multiple spouses or a wife who has multiple spouses. That's the general term, polygamy. Now, historically speaking, I believe it's over 90% of the time when we talk about polygamy, we're talking about a man with multiple wives. That has a specific term. That term is polygyny. Okay, polygyny. Right? A wife with multiple husbands is polyandry. Now, here's where it's important to differentiate before I talk about the next form of poly. Polygyny means that everybody pretty much is married to the same person. Polygyny means the women are married to the man. They're not married to each other, not intimate with each other. Nothing like that. That's another form I'll talk about shortly. Then there's polyandry, meaning that a woman has multiple husbands. The men aren't married to each other or anything like that, or messing around with each other. They're only intimate with this one woman. So
Can't hear you, bro.
It's breaking up. It's breaking up a little bit. I don't know why. You know what I'm saying? But
it might be the resolution.
This is what we're doing.
It might be the resolution. Like if you take it down, and I know you can take it down the resolution a little bit, and sometimes they'll play a little bit better. But you sacrifice some of the visual aspects, but maybe the joint can play.
Yeah. Did y'all pick up anything that he was saying though?
Oh, he was talking about the definitions and everything, and I don't know where he was going with it though. You know what I'm saying? That's the part.
No. That part I just wanted them to break down the different the differences, like the definitions of it. Because even we was talking about it earlier. What was what? The men with two women and women with two men.
Okay. Polyandry.
You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
So he was just really. I just wanted somebody like to break it down, like based on what we were saying, so we could be 100% sure about the information that we're speaking on. You know what I'm saying? So
Absolutely.
that was the main thing about that. It's a little bit more, but I guess with that video, I don't know what's going on. So, but I got some more videos. So I also got some from some women though. Okay. Because I knew it was going to be a thing where it was going to be considered a thing that men. Of course, it was going to be videos where men are speaking about it from that point of view because, like I said, it's still taboo. It's still made to seem like it's about a man having multiple women and blah, 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 and it's about sex. That was the most thing that people can't get around. So just to let people understand, there are not people that are out here brainwashed. There's not people out here running around being a gun being pointed to their head. These are women out here who actually feel this way. So I wanted to play videos from them too, so it could be understood that it's not a man thing. Whenever this conversation comes up, too often it's being considered as a thing that it's just a man thing. Where well, men are so eager to have this conversation because it involves having two women versus it being about the economic structure of the family. So let me play this real quick. This one, hopefully, this will play. Like we're gonna see. Shit, hopefully. All right. So this one is a quick one. This one is a more of a quick one. Now I should have when I downloaded the video, I may have to like take the resolution down at that particular portion. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, let's see this one real quick and see how this goes.
Work. And if our framework of relationships now, it doesn't work. It does not work. And if our connection to spirit is broken, everything else is broken. So that's why we have to reevaluate engagement, marriage, creation, relationship. Our whole spiritual start of everything, the foundation, it was based in this Judeo-Christian shit. That's not our shit. That's not our shit. I'm sorry. You don't understand. Y'all need to go back to the ancestral code. Be primal. Be primal. If y'all can let this Disney fairy tale shit go and all of this stuff they taught you about this fantasy of the wedding and the white dress, if I see another fucking bridesmaid video, these fucking videos of people marching in, dancing in, that's what y'all want. Y'all don't want no ancestral intimacy. You want a goddamn wedding when you dancing. You want a viral video. That's what you want. You want a viral video. You want to control your man's dick. You want to control your man's desires. You want to control the forces of nature. You don't know how to do that, mama. You're not going to make no man other than what he is in his nature, and you better learn what your goddamn...
That sucks. That sucks. That video is crazy.
Yeah, I want
but
to
it
hear
was
what
jumping around like Jordan out here.
Yeah. She
that was
breath,
basically it. It was
that's how I be when I'm walking.
It was at the end. She's trying to exercise while she pop her shit, yo. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Y'all can't control y'all breath when y'all walking.
You can't control your breath. You're trying to control your breath, son. You can't control your breath.
You can't control your
You're
breath.
trying to control the forces of nature. You can't control that. What is you doing?
That's right, yo.
You don't make the sun shine.
Like, that's right, yo. Especially when you're walking 1,000 miles per hour. But
man,
as you can see, the gist of it. We got through the gist of it.
Yeah. On a serious note, like, you know, sometimes a lot gets lost in the message because of the messenger. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that she was moving around so much, using a lot of vulgar language, a lot of people gonna miss the message. But what she was basically just saying is that, you know, our frame of mind, the way that we thinking is what was forced upon us. So we got to get back. We got to get back to have a better understanding of the world and spirituality and different things. And when you're following a system that wasn't made for you, of course, you're going to be confused. Of course. Of course.
Let me,
what?
No, go ahead, Rob.
No, go ahead. I knew you was the butt. I know you the butt. You've been the butt guy.
But yeah.
Because
if you heard what she said, though, even though she was talking all the other stuff, she said what she talked about was a man's primal nature.
Yeah.
Which is dealing with sexual shit. So before, when we was talking about, you know, it's about more than sex. Even the premise that we trying to put in front of people now, like what she's trying to say in the back end of what she was saying is that women who are trying to control their man dick, trying to control his desires, that they're wrong. That they should let him be primal, which ain't got nothing to do with finances, ain't got nothing to do with legacy. Well, unless he's making 12 kids, but it ain't got nothing to do with it's that's sexual. You know what I'm saying? And that's the part I think people ain't gonna vibe with. Like it's
Well,
like
then that's the
that was
thing.
my whole point, right?
But see, that's what we saying, Paul. Like people could find any reason why they don't want to do something. The goal is not to
True,
make
true.
people do anything that they don't want to do. The goal is to be able to have the conversation, because whether we all agree, us three that's on this panel tonight, whether we agree with it or not, it's not saying that people are not living this lifestyle right now. Like people are they're living this lifestyle even if they don't know it. A lot of different people in a lot of different scenarios. Like and not only that, it goes a step further. It's a lot of men in these scenarios who are taking care of children they think are theirs, but because they don't know.
Right.
So whenever
Well,
you
women,
put these things, I know, but think about it, Big P. Like whenever we look at these things from a standpoint of where we make the whole family dynamic about sex, this is where it becomes the whole taboo thing. This what makes it a thing. Like, yeah, they might be looking at what she's saying, like, yo, she going back to the primal nature about sex. No, basically she talking about in the event that if you in a position where you saying that I'm going to control what this person does. Because dudes be trying to police girls' vagina too. Like she just ain't a dude. So she wouldn't she can't say that, but we can. We know a bunch of dudes. Now all of us know a dude in our lifetime that we knew we had to tell sometimes, man, chill, B, why you doing that? That girl, like what's wrong with you, yo? Like
right.
all of us
Crazy,
had to
yeah.
check some dude in our life because he up here trying to police a girl's vagina. Like we hear that all the time. So no, but the point is though, what she was trying to make was about more so about the mindset. Primal nature is a part of who you are. Like you may downplay it, you may what is it? Put it in dormant. You might put it in the low drive, but
right.
you know, but you know when it's there now. And a lot of times, a lot of people ain't honest enough with themselves. Like especially when it comes to like men. When it comes to this thing, they're not honest with themselves. They know good and well. You know good and well that you ain't get caught cheating because you was just slipping. You got caught cheating because you had feelings for Shorty over there. Like,
Caught
stop
out there.
playing, yo.
You got
Because you
caught
had
out there.
feelings. You wasn't
Right.
honest with your feelings and gave people a choice. So that's a part of what we got going on here, dude. We all know that for men it's just an act. You can sleep with somebody and keep going. Look, I don't need your number. Like all that other stuff. That all that. I mean, we know how to access of what men do, especially as men. Like
I
we
can't do
know
that,
how
man.
it goes. So
I gotta fall in love first. I gotta fall in love first before I have sex with a woman.
stop playing, P. Stop it. Stop
I'm
it.
just
Stop playing. But look, at the end of the day, we know the concept of it. All I'm saying is that when it comes down to it, that's why you got caught. You know what I mean? That's why you got caught, because you had feelings over here. And you just wasn't honest enough with your feelings. Because people will try to make you feel like you can't have these type of feelings and all this other shit. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, we know from anything that we talk about, like it's only conversation. Like anybody that know us, if they take this conversation personally, you don't know us.
You don't know us.
not at
Nah.
all. You damn sure don't know me. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm
Damn sure
saying?
don't know me.
Because this is information. You know what I'm saying? And this is what people as adults should be able to talk about anything. If you're an adult, you should be able to talk about anything. Nothing should be able to trigger you to the point where you get upset about a conversation as an adult. That's why I think arguing amongst couples is corny. I know people say that all the time. Like people gonna have disagreements, but you don't have to argue. That's corny.
Yeah,
In no shape,
absolutely.
form, or fashion is arguing cool. I don't care how passionate you are. I don't care
Yeah.
how you feel like you are. What trauma base that you got that makes you feel like this is the way that you deal with it. That's corny, yo.
Yeah, use your
Arguing
words,
is
man. If you got
corny.
Yeah, you got
Use your
any
words, yo.
you got any inkling of education about you, or
Use your
you know what I'm
words,
saying,
man.
you done read a Dr. Seuss book, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, like just yeah, you're
Use
right.
your
You're
words,
right.
yo.
You're
Use your
right. But
words. Arguing
I
is
think it's
corny.
gotta be agreement. It's gotta be agreement no matter what you do. And I think the premise of what we're talking about is that agreement. Whatever even you know, with anything you're doing. You know what I'm saying? If you going out with your boys, you know, say that. You know, if you're going out with your homegirls from college, say that. You know, if you want a second wife, say that. You know what I'm saying? If you want a second husband, say like talk about it, bring it to the table. You know what I'm saying? And if you're dealing with somebody that can't handle it, figure something out. You know what I'm saying? Like move to the next phase. Like, okay, well, that's off the table. But can we do this? Like, I mean, you know, you got to figure that shit out between the two of you. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's why when you talk about arguments, especially in public, you know, I don't air nobody dirty laundry. We got something to talk about it. We got space in the car. You know what I'm saying? We got space in in the house. We can talk. There's plenty of opportunity to talk about it, other than trying to embarrass one another. You know what I'm saying?
That's that
I mean, I
maturity,
feel
man.
you, man.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yo, and yo, I'm gonna be honest, yo. A lot of times, man, when we get into the whole thought about communication, it causes people to have to pull up and be, responsible for how they maneuver going forward. A lot of people don't want to be responsible. I think a lot of people love to be this person because of this happening. You know how you always get the people to say, "Yo, this is just how I am." When I get
Right,
upset, this is how I do. This is how I get down. You gotta no, we don't gotta accept that. Like nobody
nope,
has to accept your version of how you want to deal with,
right,
conflict. Conflict
right,
is something that people should be able to talk your way through. Like we said earlier, use your words. Yelling and screaming and trying to go all left or being always triggered in your feelings and emotional about conversation. Like
right.
that's you life is too short for you to be sitting around here being triggered by conversation. That's why I said
Hmm.
earlier in the show, anybody that jump on this or leave any kind of comments being upset about what we're talking about, I'm not going back and forth with you because I'm not saying this is how I'm trying to tell people this is how they should live. We're saying that this is a trending topic. This is sparking conversation. This is what we do. We conversate.
That's what
And
we
we
do.
talking about it because we have an adult conversation, right? It's not about all this other shit that people make it about. You know what I'm saying? Emotional. Like we're not going through that, yo. If you emotional because of a conversational, then that this ain't the thing for you to listen to or watch. Because
Hey,
I'm not
did
going
you
back
get
and
some
forth with
comments?
nobody,
Did
yo.
you get some comments or
Yeah,
something?
yeah. I got one right now. I'm about to read, yo, because I've been reading them throughout the night, but I got one
Let's
right
read them
now
joints,
that
man. I want to get at. Let
from
me get at somebody. Let me get at
all
somebody.
right, so Dion, this is what she says. She says, I don't believe that men are wired to be monogamous, and I'm good with that while still being monogamous myself. However, most men want to lie and play games rather than just be honest.
Right, right.
Now,
True. That's
we
one of
said
the things
that
we said.
earlier.
Yep.
Hmm.
That's
Right.
exactly what I said earlier. If you didn't get caught cheating because you were just over here doing something, you got caught because you got feelings and you wasn't honest
Hmm.
enough with your feelings to bring it to the forefront and give people the
Right.
opportunity. The most things that people could do is say no. That's one of the worst things that people could do. They're gonna say no. Like you make the decision how you want to live your life, but you know, at the end of the day, that's what we said. You know what I'm saying? Be honest.
Hmm. And
Like,
some
yo,
people don't know
this is
that
what's
they.
going
Oh,
on.
go ahead.
Go
Some
ahead,
people
no, go
don't
ahead.
know. Some people don't know that they actually dealing with a person that they can truly be honest with. Like there's a lot of people out here that's trying to be nice,
That's
and they're
true.
not sharing their true feelings or how they truly feel about somebody or how they truly want to do these other things. Even in the bedroom, it's people out here that's holding stuff back that won't even tell their mate that, hey, I like to do this XYZ. You know what I'm saying? Something they might have experienced in the past, but they too scared to tell them. But they really dealing with a person that can handle the truth, that would rather know the truth and not be like I always say stuff like this. Like a I'd rather be a participant than a protester.
Mm.
Bring me in the room. Let you feel what I'm saying? Bring me in the room. Let's talk.
Right.
If this is a desire you got, let's fucking do it. You know what I'm saying? Let's do that shit together so I can see if I like it too. And then after we done, it's like, oh, you know, it was all right. You know what I'm saying? Like you can at least give your opinion. But if you ain't even privy to it, you don't even have a chance to say whether you would like it or not. You know what I'm saying? And so it's a lot of shit like that going down. And you actually dealing with somebody that can handle the truth. You dealing with a girl that can handle, hey, I want to go on a date with Sheila. All right, cool. I'm gonna go on a date with Steve, all right, or whatever. You know, like you dealing with somebody that can handle the truth, and y'all go on dates and then meet back at the house and bone it out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, but people not even willing to take that step and be honest sometimes. You know what I'm saying? They being nice as hell and then find out later, I could have been honest with you. Hell yeah, I like doing that too. You know what I'm saying? So I mean,
right. Communication, yo. I like we said earlier, communication is the key, and being honest with yourself, and then not being afraid to pay attention to exactly who you have in your life. Like we got to be honest. Like we know that in most situations, women, you know, whether they are, everybody puts these ratings, you know, from 6 to a dime, 10. You know, that's for everybody. This is the standard, right? They talk about that. So all women in between, no matter what, they're in control of sex. Like women control the access to sex, and men, they control the access to marriage. That's just the way that it is. That's just the way that it always gonna be.
that's
You
a
understand
good
what I'm
point.
I
saying?
agree. Yeah.
So whenever we kind of look at what is actually going on out here, the best way to even be able to please a woman is to be able to have a conversation with her about what she likes and what she don't like, versus you going into it with whatever you did with the last shorty. You know what I'm saying? And then
True.
expecting to be a mind reader. But people are so uncomfortable. You know, religion has made sex so uncomfortable for people to talk about and to be able to be in an exploratory space with each other because everything seems so taboo. You got so many people who are traumatized just based off of what they really like and what they don't like. You know, some
True.
people are really out here putting themselves at a disadvantage because they're not able to express themselves fully the way that they,
Exactly.
you know, they really
Exactly.
feel,
And,
you know, like
and
they want
and
to.
you know what? You know when it come out, when they somewhere in the DR, you know what I'm saying, or somewhere with they girls and they had a bachelorette party, and the dude come out with the firefighter joint on, and here's a girl that you seen, she been in a relationship 15 years, married, going to church, everything, and then now she just busts all out, and y'all looking at her after the party like, dang, I ain't know that was it, because it's been pent up. You ain't tell nobody. You ain't share it with your husband. That sometimes you like going to the strip club and seeing, you know what I'm saying, seeing the cucumber fall out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, you ain't share none of that.
You got issues,
You,
yeah. You
you
got
ain't
issues,
share none.
man.
But I'm just saying, like,
Yeah, because you know, fam could throw on that suit for you. Another thing
right,
too, you know, dudes they get, you know, a lot of times, you know, dudes be letting themselves go and they get in these relationships with women too. Like they get comfortable. One thing dudes do is get comfortable when they get a good woman, yo. They start to feel like, oh, I got me mine, you know what I'm saying? She already accept me
Yeah,
for who I am. So I ain't gotta get back out here and keep it tight. I ain't gotta be
right,
conscious about my health. And you know, they start to act like this is what this woman's supposed to do. Because if you kind of think about it, if somebody gonna take care of you, you're supposed to give them the best you that you could give them. Not that they got to take care of you, but y'all could take care of each other. Not putting you in a position where your dumb ass gonna be sitting somewhere over bent over at 45 because
you
you
know what I'm
eating
saying?
nothing but processed food. You know what I'm saying? And you
Exactly,
don't want to listen, or you
exactly.
don't want to get in the gym, or you so busy that you can't get in the gym. Like you just the busiest person in the world that you can't get in the gym. Like even if it's
True.
just based on your cardio. You know what I mean? You ain't got to go out here and try to be Mr. You know, Atlas and then shit like that or Arnold Schwarzenegger, but you should at least be trying to make sure that your stamina is on point. You
Exactly,
know,
man. Bro, I
even if you're
started
doing
walking
cardio or something.
like even half a mile a day. You know what I'm saying? That's where I started, like halfway through last year. You know what I'm saying? Like just getting up
Facts.
because I got a computer gig, right? So I'm always sitting down, always in front of the computer. And so on my breaks, I would get up and walk around the neighborhood. Like if I was working from home, like you gotta do something, man. You can't rest on that. You know what I'm saying? It's shoot, this nigga's out here depending on you. You rest on it. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Because they gonna catch you slipping for real. That's the law of the jungle too. That's primal too. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. No, you're right. It's primal. Like you gotta always, like, you gotta know what you got. You gotta be able to understand what you have in as far as the opportunity with a person that's in your life. It's not guaranteed that this person just has to stay with you. It's not written in stone that this person it's just has to be with you just because of whatever commitment that y'all made verbally.
True,
That ain't it.
true,
You know what I'm saying?
true.
If you, as men, they tell us the same thing you did to get her, you got to do to keep her, right?
Yep,
But I know,
yep.
like, when it comes down to it, there's always some man out here that's willing to hump your girl. He ain't gonna love your chick, yo. He don't love her, but
Look,
he
there's no
always be
shortage
ready to
of dick.
pump her.
There's no
Nah,
Right.
shortage
the
of dick,
dudes will be
yo.
ready to pump her in a heartbeat. That be up to her. You know, that's her if she
Right.
want to add to her body. You know what I mean? But at the end
Yeah,
of the day, it's always some dude up there looking for an opportunity to score with somebody that they already, just because of how they look. But come on, y'all, let's be honest. Women control the access to sex. You know, even for the man that, even for the person that understands, like if a woman says, "Yo, I got a man that I know other women would want," she got to be honest with herself with that too. You know, just like a
hmm
dude got to be honest. If you know you got a woman that's very attractive and you know other dudes will want her, then what are you going to do while you got her? You can't be sitting around playing a video game all the time. Like, you got
Yeah,
to
there's a
figure out a
exactly.
way to keep
You know
responsibility.
your,
what I'm saying?
Yeah,
yeah.
there's
Exactly,
mhm.
exactly. Go ahead, Kev.
I know what I'm saying.
Go
Yeah,
ahead, Kat.
there's a responsibility, you know what I'm saying? And that's you could look at it like a job. You know what your job description is, and you know that you gotta not just meet those, you gotta exceed those expectations. Because there's always somebody creeping, switch phones with your girl for one day, look at her inbox. You be in the bathroom crying. Because she chooses you every single day. You know what I'm saying? She could post a picture and dudes flood to the inbox. You know what I'm
They
saying?
go into that inbox, bro.
They in the
They get
inbox,
brave as hell in
Right.
the inbox. Brave.
you know what I'm saying, shooting,
And
you know what I'm
listen,
saying,
and
shooting a
you could
shot.
do you could drop down, do 25 push-ups and then take a selfie and get 5 likes. It ain't the
5 likes.
same, yo. 5. She get 105 in 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying? It's
Right.
not the
Right.
same.
It's
So
not the
Then
same.
post a picture of her
they,
feet.
right. And she
Hey,
got the
send
whole
that to
half
me.
of
Send
India.
me that. People
Look,
Yeah,
be
yeah,
half
trying
of
to buy
yeah.
India
Send
feet
me that.
pics.
talking about what's your cash app, yo.
Right.
Right.
You don't even want her
So
Yo, let
touching
me
you with
read
her feet. It's somebody trying to pay you,
no,
let me
man.
read
you
let me
know?
read some of these comments, yo.
All right.
So we got Dion again. She's saying exactly, Paul. She agree with you. If a man is claiming me as his lady, don't have me out here looking stupid. Just be honest. I'm good with honesty. All right. And then we got a kid named Derek. I think that's his name, Derek. He
Uh-huh.
says women just love he said women like to argue. Like,
Women like
he's
to
just saying,
argue.
like, yeah,
Man.
he responded to something we said earlier about the communication thing, yo. He said women like to argue. I don't know, like, what I mean,
I think
I
that
mean,
men
but
and women, we have different
we
communication
don't want to.
styles.
Yeah, they got, and I
Yeah.
don't like to do the women versus men thing because I think there are men out there that like to argue too. It's a lot of emotional guys out here. It's a lot of guys that got a lot of estrogen in their diet. You know what I'm saying? And they be
true,
arguing just as much
true.
as the woman, yo.
They
Nah,
be
for
they be
real,
Right.
yo.
arguing.
Cats be out
Listen, you
here,
right.
Yeah.
yeah,
You're
eating all that
right. You're
soy and
Yeah.
right.
shit, yo.
And
They be
they got
arguing just as much.
and they got estrogen, especially if they do it in front of people, like in front of a whole. They want to show. It's
Yeah.
like, bro, come
Yeah,
on, bro,
man.
come on. You not
Uh,
pulling none of us in. You know what I'm
You're not
saying?
impressing us with
We
that.
looking
Yeah.
no,
at
we're
you,
not impressing us.
and
We
and the
know.
true alpha males in the room looking at you like, bro, if you walk away from that girl, I'm coming over there. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right, because we know you fronting.
you
Yeah,
know
we
you
know you
fronting. You know what I'm
fronting. You up
saying?
here showing out in front of everybody, trying to make it seem like you that guy, and you ain't, yo. Word,
Bro,
y'all,
I'm telling
you know what
you,
I'm
like,
saying? Y'all not, yo. And that's one of the things. That's why I say, man, all the time, yo. Dudes, when you could tell who a real one when they step in the room, they don't gotta say nothing. I'm just
Facts.
gonna
I
be
ain't gotta
honest
say
with you.
nothing. Yeah,
You ain't gotta say nothing, yo. You ain't never gotta tell nobody what you do when you step in the room. They don't gotta know exactly how you get money or none of that, but they could tell by your energy when you come in the room if you a person that is in the alpha position or not. You know, and that's another thing we could talk about too, real quick, man. Is that whole alpha thing? That shit is getting blown out of proportion. Dudes
it
think
is.
just because they blunt that make you alpha. Nigga,
Right.
just
Yeah, I
because
talk
you'll say
loud.
anything out your mouth
I
don't
talk
make you no
loud.
alpha male. Yeah, and talk loud
Yeah.
and talk with such conviction that makes you an
Yeah.
alpha male. No, it's the decisions that you make, nigga, and you stand
Yeah,
on. Like
yeah,
what you
Right.
stand on, your principles, your morals, like what
exactly,
you
bro.
won't compromise for nothing, yo. That's what make you an alpha male, not because you could
Exactly.
tell somebody they breath stink. Yo,
Yeah.
anybody
I
could
talk
tell
Right,
like
just
a
because
right.
you
nigga.
could just say it like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, niggas think just because they could come up and tell somebody like, yo, I'm just telling you, your breath smell like shit. That don't make you no alpha male just because you say it like that. It's ways that you can
Yeah,
say it and still come across and still be that guy that when you walk around, people have respect, not somebody that, you know what I mean, just because you say
true,
whatever you
true,
want.
true.
That
True.
make you an alpha male. Cats is corny. Yeah, how much money you
Facts,
make
man.
don't make you an alpha male either, yo. That's man, nigga. That just make you a person that got money. Like you still corny. If you corny, you still corny. Like it
It's
don't
a lot of
matter.
corny niggas with money. Yeah.
Come
Yeah.
on. Like that don't make you
Right.
an alpha male because you got a whole lot of money either. Like that
It
Mm-mm.
don't make
energy
you.
come
It don't
off.
make the
Like
corny go away.
Right.
no,
It don't make the corny go
no,
away for real. And
no. It'll
most
make
women can
a
smell it a
person
while
deal
away.
with it, but
Mm-hmm.
But you know, it's just like old girl said last time we was on here. She said, "If you leave with your money, I'm gonna take your money." Remember what she said?
Mm-hmm.
facts.
And she was like,
Yep,
"Yeah." She was like, "If you leave
yep.
with your money, I'm gonna take you for your money. Then that's what you leading with. Then I'm gonna go ahead and take you for every dime. Let's go shopping. Let's
Mm.
go here. Let's
That's a
go here.
fact.
Yeah.
Meet
That's a
me at
fact.
Perry's for lunch. You know what I'm saying? Like what? Okay,
And that's because
yeah,
they,
that's
you
what you're
know
gonna
how
leave with.
dudes do when they got money, they trying to shortcut, they trying to microwave their way into a
Mm.
scenario. You know,
Right.
that's the fastest way they feel like they could get into a place where woman will feel like he valuable or not is based on his money. Like we know that that's because you know the misconception about that's all men are good for. Like if you kind of think about it, not so much to women who getting their own money, you know, but
Right.
I mean, what else? What are they talking about when they come down to all the rap? Like if you listen to all the female rap that's going on, what it's about? If the dude ain't got certain
True.
type of money, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You ain't
But
worthy
you know
over here.
what?
You ain't worth it.
You know what though? I ain't never seen a polygamist that's broke.
I ain't never seen one either.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like, look at that movie, that show, Big Love, used to come on HBO. My
Mm-hmm.
man
Word.
owned like 12 hardware stores or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I ain't
had
never
three
seen it.
Damn.
houses,
Like, look,
had three houses built right next to each other.
Because he can
listen,
focus that energy. You know what I'm saying?
you never
Tunnel
see
vision.
it in that act. That's what I'm talking about. So
You
see,
know what I'm
that's what I'm
saying?
saying. Like if you kind of put it in a certain perspective, who do you see? Like you don't ever see that those people in that scenario broke, like never,
Mm-hmm.
or struggling or wanting to figure things out. Like the only time you know when it looks that way is when dudes are trying to pimp. Think about what's the movie that my man Terrence Howard played in, yo?
Oh,
What was
Hustle and
that
flow.
trick? What was the name of
Hustle
that
and
joint?
Flow.
Hustle and
Yeah.
Flow. Now
Whoop,
look at
that,
that. Like
yeah,
this
whoop.
dude had a man. He's a man that got multiple women in his house with him, and they struggling. They don't got no air conditioning in the car.
Nothing.
Like yo, what type of leadership was he? Like yo, and then you know it was so stupid. I looked at that movie, and you keep looking at that movie. Every time they walk out the house, like 3 or 4 houses down, they abandoned. So nobody ain't think to get in no real estate.
Nah, nah,
Like
you
y'all,
want to think
like
about
y'all
that.
just around here sweating for no reason. Yeah, y'all just out here
Right.
sweating and looking wet for no reason. You know what I'm
They was
saying? So it's
scared. Yeah,
corny,
they was doing that to pay
right?
bills, yo. I need
and it
you to go
was the
I need you to
stupidest
go get that
shit.
microphone, man. I need you to
Come
go get
on,
that
man.
Think
microphone.
about it.
I need you
Come
to go
on,
get that
man.
Think about
microphone, man.
that, yo.
Come on,
Yeah.
man.
Right. So you think about the mentality of people that are in this position. Everybody don't deserve this position. Like if you think about him as a leader, like he was a terrible leader in that aspect, yo. Even when you base it from the movie, of course it was entertaining, based on what happened, but it was still he was not a leader.
Right, right.
It's no way it should be that many people in one place and you broke. If you take anything from our Latinos that come up here from Mexico, if it's they be in a scenario, they ain't broke. If it's that many people in one scenario, ain't no such thing as broke. They be driving all the vehicles that people be scared of because they be scared of the gas. They be at the pump singing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They
You
don't
know
be
it's
at the
grown. You
pump.
swipe that card and you wait till it to
Walk
stop.
away.
Like, yeah, walk away.
Look,
Like,
they walk away. They put the joint in there, swipe it, and then go in the store and shop. They not out here counting the $10
right.
in a big ass
Trying to stop it
Yukon,
right.
yo, or Denali. That joint take
Big body.
$300
Boy,
to fill up.
you crazy, boy.
That's what
You
I'm
know what I'm
saying. There's
saying?
no way that you can have that many heads in one scenario and then y'all broke. Bad
Right.
leadership, terrible leadership.
No
Yeah.
vision.
No
They ain't
matter in
got
what
a lot of people
aspect
can't
you
see
look,
past their
no vision.
nose. Yeah.
True
And
indeed,
that's
man.
what.
True
So
indeed.
everybody don't deserve that opportunity, yo.
Mm-hmm.
Word. And your boy Derek, he responded again when y'all was like, "Yo, women like to argue." He was like, "Yes, they do." So I guess he's serious about that. He be dealing with women
Well,
arguing
now,
all the time.
well, hold on. But see, women, I don't think women like to argue. I think that somewhere along the line, they found out that they had to argue with your ass. You know what I'm saying? Like somewhere
He's
along the
stupid.
line, you
I'm
know
gonna
what I'm
jump on that.
saying? Because for real, like think about it. Like most, if you think about the start of most of these things, they wasn't starting to argue because if motherfucker argue with you on the first date, you ain't going on the second one, are you?
Right.
So
Nah,
somewhere along the line, she learned that in order for you to get this point, in order for you to succumb to your dumbass idea or what she thought was your dumbass idea, she had to argue your ass down off this cliff. You ain't gonna get off this
oh,
soapbox or this cliff or this mountaintop until I argue your ass down. And that's the way.
that's a
That's the
fact.
way that she has learned to communicate. If that's how you teach somebody to communicate with you, that's how they gonna communicate with you. You teach people every
Right,
day. People that's in your life close to you, you teach them every day how to communicate with you. And if something goes
right.
left, it's up to you to say that that's left. Listen, I don't vibe with that. I don't like when you be coming at me like that. It's up to you to say that. Especially if you're a man. If you ain't saying that shit like ho, break, pump your brake, slow down. Let's take 10. We're gonna come back in about 2 minutes. Let's talk some more. I used to do that shit all the time when I was married. Hey, ho. This ain't how I get down. Nope. No.
That's real. That's real. That's what I was
Well,
saying. I
good.
mean,
At least you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
you had something that worked for you. I mean, that's the
Go
thing.
ahead, Ken.
Communication styles is different. You know what I'm saying? It's really different. And a lot of times it's that person's way of getting your attention because the subtle things may not have been working. You know what I'm saying? And then that's why I blow up over the smallest thing. You leave a shoe in the middle of the floor, but how many times has she just picked your shoes up and moved them? How many times has she asked you to do it? Now it becomes, you don't understand these methods. Let me elevate. Some people start on
Right.
10. Some people do start on 10. I'm not gonna lie, but a lot of women it's gradual because if she respects you as a man, she's gonna let a lot of stuff slide. Women make way more sacrifices than we do because we want our way. But they reach that boiling point, they feel disrespected, they feel, whatever it is, they're gonna fly off the handle, because women are a little bit more emotional than men. Please don't attack me in the comments.
It's the truth, but just the only thing, like, I guess based on I think we all experience too. There are people who are more quick to argue versus communicate. I think that's what we were talking about earlier. Like, because of that emotional base, people are so triggered emotionally. The first thing is arguing, not
Right.
discussion,
I think
because they
it
grew
is
up not
It's a
doing that.
trigger, yeah. it's
Oh
a
yeah.
trigger. Like
Well,
if
I mean,
yeah.
go ahead. Go ahead.
If you
If you what?
no, if you bring something back, you know what I'm saying? Like especially like especially married couples. You know what I'm saying? Something we talked about 3 weeks ago, and now something else is happening. But then I start talking about that thing again. You know what I'm saying? Like that stuff can trigger a whole blow ups. You know what I'm saying? Like what the hell we doing?
Right.
Like again, I think it's people know, especially people. I'm gonna say this again. People you close to, you know what buttons to press. You know what to say that'll tick them off. You know what I'm saying? You know them areas because in them quiet moments when they done share stuff with you, you know what I'm saying, and all this kind of stuff, you know what stuff to hit that you can say and not say, or areas where to go in that'll set their ass off.
Yep. And that's why arguing is corny because of that. Because you mess around and you think you with a person and you're sharing your innermost scenarios with them, talking through it, getting it out, not holding it in. One of the things in our community is that they talk about how we commit suicide based on the fact that we don't have anybody to talk to. We don't go to counseling. We don't go to therapy. We don't do none of these things. But a lot of times people do. And the reason why they don't do it as much is because the people who they thought cared about them, even in that moment, they shared something with, wound up using it against them in an argument, throwing it up, using a comparison of something that you told them based on your past and using it as a scenario to try to hold some type of control over you now in this particular moment. You can't tell a
Right.
person that, yo, I go through this type of trauma and this is what triggered me. And then whenever it happens, now all of a sudden you in an argument and this person is talking about that particular thing that you told them in confidentiality or told them and releasing what was going on with you. So a
True,
lot of
true.
people relationships they stop like after a while they stop sharing those things with the person they're in a relationship with because
hmm
of arguing because people
If
don't
you
communicate, they argue.
exactly, if you don't feel protected, women or men, if I'm sharing thoughts with you and I don't feel protected, like, hey, this is a gold mine. I'm giving you the keys to the safe, and you done use that safe combination to go in there and take stuff out that you ain't supposed to take, and you don't feel protected. You ain't gonna keep sharing information with somebody that keep using it against you, yo.
Exactly. And it make you not want to share with people in the future because you
Hell no.
remember as men we love up here. Once the thought is etched in our brain, it take reprogramming for us to get that out. You
Exactly.
know, it's not an
Exactly.
emotional base for us once you have used something that we have told you against us in an argument. Like that's a mental thing. That's not an emotional thing for us. You know what I mean? So we had to think about it before we even told you. We had to think all the way through if we even want to tell you before we tell you. And then you
Exactly.
bring it up in an
Exactly.
argument and use it. So no, it's just like women, like like a man. Like a lot of times, if women bring up their past history of different type of relationships they got or they had, dudes want to use that against them every time something happens,
Every time something
right?
happens, every time
Dudes want to
something go
use that
left,
against
well,
them.
you
Yeah,
ain't do that with so and so. You ain't do that with
yeah,
so
I
and
know why
so.
you doing that. I know why you doing that because you did that. You did it. Yeah, it's like, well, damn, yo,
It's
you
crazy.
should have never had her tell you.
Right.
Exactly. Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And that's another thing for us as men too. I be trying to tell women too. Like when you got a man that is expressive to you, that at least is willing to express himself to you, just be thankful for that. You know what I mean? We don't know how long the relationship gonna last or where it's gonna go, but be thankful for that. Like you are that person that he feels comfortable enough with telling things that may be more private to him because it take a lot for guys to come out and tell you things that are bothering them or that may make them seem weak. You know, pride
Hey,
and ego is not the
that's
same thing.
big. That's
Right.
big. That's a
You know what
big
I
deal,
mean?
bro. Yeah.
It's not the
That's a
same
big
thing.
deal.
Pride and ego is two different things. And dealing with men, you got to be able to understand the difference between the two because it's not the same. And
You know what I'm saying?
pride will keep us from saying anything. Ego will keep us from living in it like it ain't real. You know what I
Mm,
mean? That's the
yeah.
difference.
hmm
You know what I mean? Pride will keep us like, I ain't saying shit. Fuck that. Ego will be like, yeah, man, I'm the man. No, you're not. Your ass about to have an ulcer. Because every time you get home and get by yourself, you be somewhere ready to slit your wrist.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, because
Yeah.
we got this thing where we could put on the front in front of everybody. But deep down inside, when you get by yourself, you be like, damn, I ain't really this, I ain't really that. But you the loudest person in the room everywhere you go.
Back to them alpha males you're talking about.
See?
Projecting that energy, projecting, that fake it till you make it mentality. It's just crazy, man. It's really, really crazy. I think that people, you seek a person that you can be yourself with, have that vulnerable moment. And when a person uses your vulnerability against you, I mean, that's where people have like that cover story that you was talking about. People hold on to past trauma. Yeah, when I was 7, this happened to me, so I don't trust women. Bro, you 40 now. You 40. Like, come on, you gotta let what happened at 7 go.
Exactly.
Right.
You got to. And it take a lot for dudes to let it go because it's a thought process. It's a mental thing. They keep thinking about it, replaying it over in their head every time. They keep replaying it, so it's harder to let go because of the whole mental thing. We keep, we'll replay a thing over in our head 1,001 times, man, before we actually have to force it out of our subconscious. That's one of the things about being a man is about being an overthinker. I know some people personality, they zodiac sign and will give a trait of being an overthinker, whether it's a male or female. But for the most part, as men, we are overthinkers. We think, man, we overthink scenarios. I know for me, critical thinking is important. You know what I'm saying? Like I think all the time because I'm a visionary. So like all these skits and stuff that we do, like y'all, if people was to be in a room with us, when people watch it, they would think that it's written out. We got scripts, we got all these things, and when it's not, it's a whole vision. Like people actually live out a vision. Like that's a gift. That's not something that everybody could do every day, it's being made to look easy, but it's not.
Right.
Like to follow a vision that's in your mind and to bring it into the forefront or bring it to life without you. I mean, just think about that, man. Like most people wouldn't know that when they get on set. Like if a person was on set with us, they'd be like, yo, there's no way they do all this stuff or they get this much done. Like, son, how much do we do? Last film we did 11 joints,
Yeah.
In 3.5 hours.
Yeah.
3.5 hours. And that's including setting up the scene. That's including changing clothes. That's include everything, yo.
You know what I'm saying? And
so
getting hot.
What I'm saying to you, everything, yo.
Everything.
You know what I'm saying? And at the same time, getting the work done. So it's got to be a vision.
For real,
like
for real.
That's what I was talking about earlier about what makes a person a leader or not. We could get on set and we could play around, but we don't. No matter how much party favors is in the room, we still get the work done. Leadership is different than a person who is just saying, yo, this is just what I want.
Right.
Everybody ain't got that. Everybody don't have the ability to command a room to a point where everybody is in sync. Everybody don't have that, man.
That's true.
And we can't brag on it, because that's something that we do because what it's going to be look like, ego again, like we egotistical because we stand firm on what we believe in. But for the most part, that's not every day, yo. That's not an everyday thing. To be able to be a visionary like that and then being able to actually be a leader like that of people, to be able to see a scene before we even do it and who's in it and be able to make it happen. Like that don't happen every day, yo. Word. So like when we were saying earlier about the alpha males, it's a bunch of people that talk loud and convicted, but it don't make you an alpha male because you're blunt. Let's just say that, man. Like being blunt don't make you an alpha male. All right, so this is what we're gonna do, y'all. I got one more video I'm gonna play on the way out. Hopefully it'll play. I mean, you already know we've been dealing with. I do want to say this. I do have Spectrum for internet service, so it could really be that. Let's just be honest.
I got that too, bro. I don't want them to cut me off. So
you got that Google fiber, yo.
Listen,
get that
because
Google
we pay
Fiber.
for it, they can cut it off. They had to cut that shit back on. I ain't, you
Mhm.
know what I'm saying?
You know how
This
they
is
be like, "Nah, we're
terrible.
not servicing your area no more." Like,
All right, I love it, and then we petition people to get that Google Fiber, like like Big P just said, yo.
Yeah.
Shit,
yeah.
you know what I mean? It's corny anyway. All right, yo. So this last video I'm gonna play is from a woman, but
Okay.
her perspective is a lot different. She's speaking from a perspective about what she wants. This is not
Mm.
so much so about what the whole thought process is, what a definition is, what society is, or what other people around thinks and says or whatever. This is what she says she wants. Again, I want to make sure that everybody that watched this broadcast or listen to the playback or watch the playback understand that everything that we said today was not based on the force of trying to make people live a certain way. It was us having a conversation about a topic that is real and it's been going on and it's been happening a lot more lately, and people are starting to awaken to things that happened before slavery. That's all we're saying. We're saying, hey, this is the information. Take what you want with it. Do what you want with it, right? So this last video, again, is from a woman who's speaking from her perspective about what she wants. We're going to talk about it after they play, but this is something that I just wanted to make sure that we got out there because, again, this topic of polygamy and the things that we were talking about always make it seem like it's a one-up for the man. It always makes it seem like, oh, this is man having their cake and eating it too, and abundance and all this other corny shit that people put in the perspective of it versus it being a thing that people are really living and it's a lifestyle and people are really successful at it. All right, so listen to this video, y'all, and we're gonna talk about it.
I'm not a self-lover. I want to be in the type of union where there's another energy involved, a divine feminine energy. That is caring for my man and my children when I'm away. I want it and I will have it. And she will respect and honor and appreciate the fact that I welcomed her into our business of family. And she's going to love me and she's going to love him, and we are all going to be great to each other. And she ain't going to be my girlfriend, but she going to be my motherfucking ride or die. And I'm going to be good to her. And I'm going to help her fucking dreams come true. And she's going to help me take care of my family. You know why? Because I got a lot of shit going on in my life. And he gonna be so amazing to me that I'm gonna want him to have some extra variety. And I ain't gonna want him to ever feel like he gotta hide nothing from me or like he cheated or nothing like that. We gonna find you whatever you. Because when you that good to me, you can get it however the fuck you like it. This ain't nothing that nobody else gotta agree with. I'm not telling you that this is something that you should do. I'm telling you these are my personal desires for my life. I want the type of union where I know that my family on every arena is taken care of in my absence as I travel the world and work, including sexually. Including sexually. Well, she a badass beautiful and she nasty the way he like it. And I know when I'm not there, he's not burning in his flesh, struggling with making compromising decisions because he wants to be physical and I'm not there. No, baby, I'm gonna get it just the way you like it. And we gonna all love each other and all be good to each other. And no, we don't all have to live in the same house, but I have a compound, and she'll have a home on the compound too. I don't care what you think. I'm not telling you that you should do this, but I'm very clear about what I desire because I'm serious that I desire it. I'm gonna have a God that I love so much that I want him to be cared for. That if I can't reach out and touch him and he need to be touched, and he needs to be touched, somebody else can touch him for me. Well, I can call her and say, you know what, Queen, our king is having a really challenging day. You know, his mother is sick. That business deal for the 5.2 million that we were working on didn't go through. I'm in the UK right now. Can you just show him some extra love today when you get done?
All right, so it's still skipping or whatever, but you know, at the end of the day, I think we got through. It's a little bit more though. She go a little bit further into it.
We get the gist
Just based
of it
on by
now.
the time she ended, huh? What'd you say?
We get the gist of it. Kev turned off his camera. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, she has some conviction, man.
He started trying to Snapchat.
And she get into it. And the main reason why I wanted to play that video because I wanted it to be able to for people to understand that's watching or listening to this program that, like I said, this is not me speaking from a male's perspective about this scenario or about this subject. Men are not the only people that are out here thinking this way or understanding that this is the process that they want to live. It's just the fact of people who are based in a certain type of reality. Not that another person's reality is not real or whatever. I'm just saying that these are concepts that are out here that are not being made to be forced by men. This is being looked at as a thing that's being forced by men to do. And men are the ones that are out here advocating so hard for polygamy or polygamous lifestyle and all this other stuff to the point that when you can't talk about it, where women will be like, well, what about if a woman wants two husbands? Like, okay, it's the same thing. Like, it's not a battle. Everybody makes things about a battle between who's right and wrong and who does what or who doesn't. But the point is, though, I wanted to make sure that when we talked about this today, it didn't just be up here because we didn't have no females on the panel, and I didn't have them up here on purpose. That's why I talked to the ladies last week and asked them the certain questions about women in a certain aspect because I wanted to make sure that it didn't turn into a man versus women thing. I hate that. It sucks. But I also wanted to make sure that people understood that I wasn't just going to come here from a man's point of view about this subject. I played 2 different videos, and it's a lot more. Trust me, if you go out there, it's a lot more. It's more from actual sister watch. It's way more videos out there. It's way more study out there of people who are talking about it. I only wanted to show these particular things. I wanted a guy to be able to break down the difference. I also showed y'all, it's more that he said, but I don't want to play all that. You know what I'm saying? Because his video is a little bit longer, so I guess that's why I skip it. But with those 2 ladies, I wanted to make sure that we understood that this particular program that we have today is not based on a man's point of view. And I wanted to be clear on that before anybody jump in the comments or anybody look at the playback and be sitting up here thinking that here we go, right? Men up here trying to promote having multiple vagina when it ain't got nothing to do with multiple vagina. You get what I'm saying? Because that's the only thing a person can see past when they think about this. They can't get past sex. And I'm saying there's so much more time in the day besides freaking sex. It's so important. I understand that. But I'm talking about what about the rest of the fucking day?
Right, true. Let me jump. So I'm gonna search long and hard for a video with a dude on it talking about when I'm out the country, I want my queen to be with.
They out there.
What
Listen,
man, Rob?
they out there. They
Listen,
out there. I'm
man.
being honest with you, B. They out there. I just didn't. The point is, though, I didn't want to have, as you can see, the way that
No,
this
I feel
playback
you,
is going,
dog.
I couldn't have but so many videos. The ones I did
No,
have didn't
no,
want to, you know what I mean? But
I
what I'm
feel you,
saying to
dog.
hopefully this will spark, hopefully this conversation will spark people to go out there and start doing their own research. Go into YouTube, type it in, and you'll run across the same videos I got or even more, and you do your research on people that are already doing it, or at least go to the origins of it. Go to polygamy before slavery. Go to African polygamy. Go to spiritual polygamy. Go back and get
Okay,
the real meaning of it before it
okay.
comes all the way up here to what people are doing now. You can go do that. It's just like religion. People don't think about religion. They keep talking about the Bible, where the Bible was it was translated from scriptures. So why people don't go to see to get the information from the original scriptures that wasn't translated? I don't get
Only
it.
a few people do that, bro. Only
You
a
get
few people do
you
that
you you, you know what I'm saying? But that's the
because
point I'm trying to make. People love for somebody to tell them something, but they
people
won't
want
go
to
out
feel
there and get the
good too.
information for themselves. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, that's church. We that's gonna be a whole nother thing. We gotta have a
It's a
conversation
whole
All
nother
about
right,
that. We
all
got
conversation.
right,
we got
Yeah.
you know what I'm
okay.
saying? We gotta have a whole conversation about that because that's a whole nother thing that we gotta talk about because spirituality and religion is not the same thing, and we're gonna talk about that. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna have a
You know,
few people on and we're gonna
I
chop
used
it
to
up.
preach, right?
I didn't, but I can see it.
No, but I can see
Yo,
you. You know what? I
Yeah.
can see you with an armor bearer too. Your armor bearer be shorter than
man,
you. I can see you.
back in the
Yeah.
day, Rob,
Well,
I used to
well,
get up
good. Well,
there
good. This will be a
and
good
talk
conversation
about it.
for us to have then. You know what I'm saying? This will
It'll
be a great
be a
conversation
good
to have then.
conversation, my bro. I'm gonna talk the whole
Well,
time like this. The whole time we on there.
I hope
I'm gonna
not.
talk
I
like
really hope
this.
not. I
Please
hope not,
don't.
sir.
Please
I hope
don't. I'm
not.
going to tune out.
You said,
But yo, before we
please.
get out of here, man, I just want to tell everybody that's been watching tonight. It's been quite a few of y'all that's been really talking. I've been jumping in there tonight. We appreciate y'all. I got another comment
For
real
sure.
quick from Tiara. She said, "This is a healthy conversation. I like it." So see, that's what I'm talking
That's
about.
what's
Those are the
up.
kind of comments we want when people can see through the fact that we're having a conversation about it. We're not swaying people's opinion. We're not trying to talk about it in a way that makes another person feel wrong for what they agree and what they not agree. But we just talking about it from a standpoint that I think most adults should have a conversation about it. Don't be so thrown off and so triggered and so emotional all the time about having grown up conversations. If you don't agree with something, you just don't agree with it. But be willing to have a conversation about it. You know what I mean? Because
Right,
it's important. You know,
That's
right.
true.
and I'm thankful for the women that's been commenting tonight. We had Dion, we had Country T jumped in, but Country T was saying that when it come down to it, that's called the Splackavelli. So T was gonna say, Country T, she's gonna say something crazy anyway. Nah,
Mhm.
nah, she get down. Nah, she get down. But shout out to all the ladies that jumped in on the chat and made a comment because it's important. Because like I tell y'all, when we have these conversations, it's automatically looked at as a man dominated thing to where the point where it looks like it's so great for the man. So great. Versus it being a conversation where people understand economically. Well, who understand economics, how this can work, how people get along better when it's just so much that come along with it. The protection that come along with it, the camaraderie that come along with it, the friendship that come along with it, the enterprise that come along with it. Enterprise, the businesses that you're able to run, the operation that you have, the trust that you have, and the fact that you building assets that play for your lifestyle, not one person solely, so that if something happened to you, these women got to jump out there and find another man to match your lifestyle just to keep it going.
Mm.
That's why the people from back in the day, our so-called men from back in the day that used to do all that. That's why anytime they died, grandma used to have to jump over there to Willie and so around the corner because Willie said he was going to pay a couple bills because all he did was pay everything. He didn't teach her how to do nothing. He didn't teach her how to maneuver. He didn't teach her how to handle nothing. You get what I'm
Right,
saying? It was
right,
wrong,
right. I get what
man.
you're saying. I get what you're
And
saying, bro.
we celebrate that. We celebrate that every day in our lifestyle, talking about, well, men used to do this and men did that. Man, they still was corny. Dudes, he used to pay everything. That's why the lights used to get cut off. He should have been teaching mom how to, grandma and all that, how to get everything going so the lights won't be off.
Mm-hmm.
Dudes sitting up here want to be in control of everything, and they gambling, they doing everything else because they like, yo, she go to work, she bring me the money. It was all corny. You ain't strong in every
Mm-hmm.
aspect. You know, women are good at certain things that men are just not. Even if men could do it, sometimes women are better at it. Organization, sometimes women are better at it.
It's got to be a partnership, man. It's got to be a
It's got to be
partnership.
a partnership, not just a dictatorship, yo. And people are looking for a dictator. Women are looking for a dictator, dude making six figures that could just take care of her so she don't have to do shit. Or if a
Yeah.
woman got money already, she looking for a dude. She trying to date up. She not trying to date down because she got money. So she looking for the same dude that the woman who ain't got no money looking for.
Mm.
The nigga with money.
Yeah.
All
Wow.
right, yo. So we was supposed to be getting out of here, but if we don't, we'll keep going. So look, y'all. Double
Nah.
salute to y'all. I appreciate y'all for always jumping on. I see y'all guys on set on Friday. Word is born.
Oh
We're gonna
yeah.
knock it out.
Oh
Make
yeah.
sure y'all had them. You know what I'm saying? Be prepared for us to get busy like we did last time. And
Mm-hmm.
any final words that y'all got for the people before we get out of here?
Go ahead, Paul.
Kev, what you got, Kev? You always tell me, you know.
Man, you know what? Listen, I just want to let y'all know. I appreciate y'all. You know what I'm saying? Anytime we get the link up, man, it's always magic, and I always feel like y'all there for me, man. If I really need to pick that phone up and have a conversation, I know, y'all be there to listen, man, and give me some advice.
That's a fact.
You know, break me. You gotta break me down too. You know what I'm saying? Because like you said, sometimes people get in their own head and they feel like, sometimes if you open your mouth, you would be surprised how many people have common experiences. How many people are like, yo, I've been through something like that. This is what I did. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
you'd be surprised. Just open your mouth and speak, man. Like stop, keeping everything in. That's how, people end up 35 and a heart attack, man. Stop keeping everything in. Find you
Word.
a circle of people that you can trust, man. And y'all live, y'all grow, y'all invest, y'all, enterprise, y'all do something,
Word.
do something.
Word. That's dope, man. That's dope.
Yeah.
Big P, what you want to let the people know before we get out of here, yo?
And listen, man, especially for black men that's listening, mental health is important, bro. Your mental health is
Word.
important. You know what I'm saying? So don't be going to ask your girl if she won't be in the I don't want to see none of y'all on the news. You know what I'm
Hey,
saying?
hey, hey,
So
Ron Paul and
look.
Kevin said that, you know what I'm saying, we supposed to do it like this.
Right,
Mm-mm.
right.
Word.
Don't put my name in it. You know what I'm saying? You heard the
Nah,
podcast
definitely put
tonight.
your name in it.
You know what I'm
Nah,
saying?
definitely put your name in it.
But nah, for real, yeah, we do appreciate everybody watching, everybody listening. Please share this. We're gonna get realer and realer as it goes. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know if that's the right way to
Facts.
say it. But we're gonna be a 100 with y'all. We're gonna always bring the real and these for real, man. I love these two boys right here. We get at it. You know what I'm saying? We all hustlers. You know what I'm saying? We all got multiple streams of
Word.
income. You know what I'm saying? So even if you want to get at us on some other stuff, you know what I'm saying? The inbox open, the chat open. You can holler at your boy, the comedy DJ. I'm on Instagram, Twitter, everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Kev, you forgot
Word.
to do your
Word. Word.
do your IG or whatever. You know?
Hey,
I ain't
yo,
even gonna
and then
drop it.
look, and then you got to give your IGs and stuff. But people are still commenting, yo, as we trying to get out of
That's
here.
what's
So
up.
we got Crystal. Crystal just jumped in and she says get therapy. So I guess based
Yep.
on what you were saying, Paul, piggybacking off of you, when it comes to
Listen.
men, get therapy, yo. Like, and don't be afraid to ask for help. I know me personally, I had to, humble myself and put myself in a position where I'm not afraid to ask for help. I'll be on set trying to do everything myself. If I put a camera on a tripod versus allowing somebody else to learn the craft and be able to do it too. So I've been doing a lot of different things that kind of like, I always think that I'm trying not to inconvenience other people. But at some point, that's not what it's about. It's not about putting my pride down and being able to ask for help. So um number one way to get therapy or being in a position is not being afraid to ask for help. or
Ask for
being
help.
afraid to be vulnerable. Yeah, and not being afraid to be vulnerable, as a man, yo. So that's what I want to leave y'all with. Education is key. Research. Go out there and figure this out for yourself. If this is something that maybe a lifestyle that y'all are interested in, women, before y'all get triggered by this conversation, I would suggest y'all go do some research about it. Learn about polygamy. Learn about the different parts of it. Learn about what the meaning of it, the true meaning of it is, and then go listen to different people and their perspectives, and maybe their scenarios of what they had to go through to deal with it or not. Before you jump into the way people did it, go learn about it first. So even when you listening to people, if they're saying it in a way that in your spirit is not right, they did it wrong, at least you can get it from a space of them, they did it wrong, not that this is what's going to go wrong if you do this, right? Education,
Absolutely.
learning, go out there and figure it out. That's what we want to do in Spark and Conversation. The spark part is the spark thought. Conversation is the communicating part. That's why I created this platform called Spark and Conversation. Spark the thought, conversate about it. You know what I mean? And that's what we do. So uh Crystal wanted to say to you, Paul, that she's proud of you. Word.
Oh, thank you,
Crystal
Crystal.
Holman. Yeah.
Thank you, Crystal.
And
Oh,
yeah,
that's
she
my
said she's proud
that's
of
my
you, yo.
sis. What's up? What's
Word.
up, Creel? What's
Word,
up,
word, word.
Creel? Well, listen, one
Word
more
was.
thing. Anybody interested in the polygamy lifestyle? We got applications on our new website that me, Kev, and Rod just started while we all was listening, called the collectivepolygamy.com. Just go over there. It's the dating profiles, you know what I'm saying? You see somebody you like, don't click on it, call us first.
Submit your
Then
check
we'll
stub.
tell you, submit your
We'll,
check
we'll
stubs,
screen
cash
them
in
for
hand.
y'all. Yeah,
We'll
yeah,
screen
yeah.
them for
Yeah.
you. Okay.
And
That's the
make sure
new
they deserve
that's
that scenario. You know what I'm saying? And they ain't gonna
that's the
just carry y'all and drain
no.
y'all. You know what I'm saying? But really,
We
really
got
put into y'all. We got
we
another person
got
before we get out of here. Named
oh
Keisha, yo.
wow.
She said she proud of you too, Paul. Everybody proud of you, Paul.
Oh,
They see you doing good
they're my
things, man.
sisters,
They see
yo.
you doing big things, man.
They're my sisters, yo. Keisha can
Word,
sing, yo.
word.
We gotta get her in the studio. Her and Crystal. That
I
right.
bet you already know. You already know, man.
I know
I'm
how you get
already ready,
down, for
man.
real.
Always ready,
Oh
man.
yeah.
We working, man. We got a bunch of joints on deck, so I'm always down to put in that work, man. All right, yo.
Yes,
But yo,
sir.
without further ado, y'all know y'all my boys, man. I appreciate y'all. Kev, real quick before we go, give them your IG and your information so they can follow you and all that.
Oh yeah. Iliam, I2LsYIAM on all platforms.
I bet. And this is your boy Rod One, and that's your boy Big P, the comedy DJ. You can catch us
Yes,
on
sir.
on my platform, Team Collective TV, and Kevin Illy. You can catch them on there too as well. They're in a bunch of content. You can catch Big P with me every month, at least twice a month. We doing. I got 5 on a comedy show. You see,
Yes,
Big
sir.
P is the co-host. He's a DJ, and we out here hustling, yo. So, we like I told y'all all before, make sure y'all get with the sponsors of the show, Flicksters, Jasper AI. Don't forget that Canva Kits is out there, ARR Cabinets for all my real estate investors out there that do buy and holds, fix and flip. So even if you're getting something together for some Airbnbs, we got the best cabinets in the city, and we got the best prices on wholesale for cabinets. So y'all make sure y'all check them out, yo. ARRcabinets.com, yo. All one word, yo. All right. So shout out to y'all that's been watching. Shout out to everybody that's been in the chat tonight. Keisha, Crystal, everybody that's been jumping in. Tiara, Dion, we had Derek, and we had Country T and Micah. So shout out to all of y'all that's been jumping in the chat, giving y'all opinions and commenting. We appreciate y'all watching and paying attention. To the next one, y'all. Next Tuesday, y'all. Next Tuesday, we go live again with another conversation, and we just gonna keep it going. So double shout out to all of y'all out there watching. Double
Bet.
shout out to all of y'all that's gonna listen to the playback and that's following us on all platforms, yo. We appreciate y'all, man. Y'all hold it down out there. This is Sparking Conversation. I'm your boy Round One. We out.
We out.
Yeah.